Today we're going to do the water element sequence. And water element is all about flow. And this sequence is going to contain some of my very favorite movements and a lot of Qigong. They're my favorite because they feel good and because they activate your inner flow. Your inner flow is actually always running. It's only that often our attention is hijacked by the outer world. And it's kind of this inner refuge when you can turn into your inner flow. Water element is associated with the second chakra, which is the area below the ribs and above the pubis. And this area is associated with the urinary and the reproductive organs. So we will be doing some seated yoga poses today that will target specifically these areas to help tonify them and remove the stagnation from that area. So I hope you enjoy the practice today. Thank you for watching. Namaste. Okay, we'll begin standing. Feet together, toes can be slightly apart. Hands are on the low belly. Women will have the right hand down first, men the left. Relax your shoulders and let the hands float down. We're going to tuck the right toe and begin to turn the ankle. Again, do not worry if this seems uncoordinated to you. Just begin to cultivate your ankle flexibility as much as you can. And the other side, you first get that nice stretch on the dorsal side of the foot. That's the side that people always normally have in flexion, so we want to stretch that and open that side. And now we'll go to the wrists, and again we're going to roll around the bracelets. So the hands are together, and then you keep the bracelets of your wrists together the whole time. Those are those little lines that go all the way around the wrist. And then you go the other way. And as you flex in, you can touch your fingers to the tip of your thumb. And so you're asking your wrist to move to its full range. Now we're going to step the feet apart. And we're going to pull back to the waist. We're going to internally rotate the arms, stretch them down. And then we're going to take the head to the side. And here I am. I'm nodding my neck up and down. Here I'm switching. I'm getting that stretch. So I keep my arms in internal rotation the whole time. This is activating certain meridians that go through the arm to the neck. Now I'm going to scoop the other way. I'm now in external rotation, and I'm feeling the chi extend beyond my fingers in my arms. And then I take my head and I nod up and down. I'm going to scoop again. This is external rotation. That means the pinky side is rotated upward and forward, the palms up. And then I rock my head. I'm getting a nice stretch down that whole side of my arm. Now I'm going to swing and tap as we've been doing. You tap the kidney, the Mingmen, which is the gate of life, and you tap the front of the hip bone. You can turn to look over the shoulder, make sure the spine is moving. I see people do this sometimes. They're just flapping their arms like a duck. You got to turn your whole spine. And now I'm tapping the front of my shoulder. And you can look over your shoulder each time. Sometimes I'm looking at the camera, but when you're practicing, you can look all the way over your shoulder each time. And then I'm going to let it unwind slowly. Now I'm going to clap in front and behind. This is activating a point, pericardium 8, at the palm of my hand. So it's generating a lot of chi there. I'm rubbing my hands, and now I'm going to put it on my kidneys. And then I'm going to circle my waist. And all this time, my kidneys are drinking in this beautiful warm chi from the palms of my hands. This is the point, by the way, that healers use to project chi, is that pericardium 8 point at the center of the palm. And here I'm giving healing energy to my kidneys and my adrenals. As I circle my hips, mobilizing my waist. And now I'm going to go into the shoulders, up around the ear, back and down, and reversing. Stepping the feet together, we're going to do the swimming dragon. So we're going to take a side bend. Now it's important in this maneuver, and it is a maneuver, but you want to keep your legs, your feet and your knees, your legs together the whole time. This will activate the midline of the body. And what I'm doing is I'm making 3 arcs. So over the head and then across the throat. Around the belly, around the knees, around the belly, across the throat, up and over. And it repeats. And the idea is when you go to the side, you go as far to the side as you can. Now I'm going to go the other way. Side bend, around the throat, navel, knees, navel, up and over, throat, navel, knees, navel, throat, up and over, throat, navel, knees, navel, throat, up and over the top. And this is great for circulation of cerebrospinal fluid. And it warms up the body really nicely, this beautiful lateral movement of the spine, but you must keep your thighs firmly together. Now we're taking the hands up overhead, and we're going to define the midline by just tracing down, turning the fingertips down, and we're going to make a little cup. This is called golden light mudra. We're making a little container to collect chi, and we're going to collect it right there below the navel. And now we're going to do the microcosmic orbit. So I've just turned to the side so you can see the movement better. You do not have to turn to the side. But what I'm doing is I'm scooping chi up the back of my body and then down the front. And it's making a circle or an orbit of chi all around my body. And so these movements, these qigong movements, you're working with your energy body, and so it's making it bigger and clearer. And you can repeat these movements for a long time. You can slow them down. Looks like I'm doing it kind of fast, but you can really slow it down, and you can always pause the video if you want to go slower or experiment. And now here we go. We're going to just hold the tree. And this is where you can feel the chi. It's even though we've stopped moving the body, the energy body is still moving. So those stances are to feel that energy movement. And now we're throwing water over the shoulder. So I'm just making a circle. I'm just letting my arms drop with weight. And then as if I had a bucket of water, I'm just going to throw it over my back shoulder. And I'm going to turn to look. And this movement is going to take a nice twist up into my thoracic spine and up into my neck. If I would turn my head and look, it would do that. Now I'm just unwinding it slowly. And I'm going to hold. And I'm going to feel for that subtle flow, that subtle inner flow. And now I'm going to bring down the heavens. 2, we're just gathering heaven chi, and 3. Nice. So step the feet apart, arms out, inhaling, and we're going to exhale and take a forward fold. Just let the weight of the head pull the spine into traction. Try to keep the knee straight on this one. The inner border of the knee rolls back. The sitting bones widen. And then now I'm going to forward fold over my left leg. And then changing. I'm going to come up, inhaling. And narrow my stance a little, and then circling the waist. So the knees stay straight on this one, the arms stay straight. The spine pretty much stays straight. Try not to bend over at the waist. Try to hinge at the hips. If this doesn't feel like a good idea for your back, then modify it. Don't plunge into anything. Don't force your body to do anything before it's ready. Just do a smaller movement if you need to. And then we're going to come forward, rainbow ribbon. So the hands turn inside out. They scoop from the earth and it pulls up. Exhale. Inhale, scoop. Exhale. Inhale, scoop. And open out. Hands come to the low belly. In this section, we're going to start some dynamic stance work. So we'll be repeating some movements that we learned in the earth element sequence. So just bear with me. We will be introducing some new movements. So taking a wide stance, exhale, we're going to come into the horse. And now I want you to keep your knees back. Don't let your knees cave forward. No, no, no. Press your knees back over the pinky side of the foot. You can lift your toes to spread the weight in the metatarsal. And now we're going to press forward and then inhale. With fists, they come into the waist. These are called horse squats. And inhale. Exhale, press. Inhale, horse. And take it all the way down to your horse where your thighs are parallel with the ground. And inhale. And press. And inhale. And press. Inhale. Now from the horse, we're going to just take a turn. We're going to drop the back knee, which is going to be my right knee here in this case, and I'm going to stretch back into the gecko, and then I'm going to come into downward facing dog, and then down onto my knees. I'm going to sit on my heels. And this movement doesn't ever go away because you always have to cultivate that opening in the feet and the toes. Onto the hands and knees, and we're going to take some cats. So cat is your go-to. If any of these transitions that I'm going to be showing are too difficult, just do the cat. It's very safe and accessible to most people. Otherwise, if you want to experiment, here's upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. So this takes a little bit more strength, a little bit more flexibility. You tuck the chin, roll through, up dog, lifting the hips, and down dog. Roll through. And I'm going to take child's pose to rest. You can always take a child pose whenever you need, at any time during practice. Let your body guide you. The whole point is to make this enjoyable And now I'm going to take a forward fold. Now, flexible people can work with their feet all the way together. If you're less flexible, you're going to want to separate your feet about hip width apart. You can let your hands hang in your elbows, or you can have your hands on the ground, whatever's most comfortable for you. And then we're going to inhale, coming up. I came up with a flat back, but you can roll up if that's better for your body. And then we're going to take the same sequence in the other direction. So starting with the arms wide, horse squats. Two. Inhale, 3. 4. Make sure your tail is down. Your kidney area stays open and your knees stay back. So if there's any of that you skip, then you're cheating and you're not building your foundation. So you always want to keep your kidneys open, your tail dropped, your knees back, shoulders down. Now we're going to turn gecko to the other side. Head back, inhaling. Exhale, dog pose. The 2 arms are straight, the 2 legs are straight. And we're going to sit on the heels. Cat. You really open the belly, you open the back, inhaling and exhaling on the round. And now to dog. Here we go. Roll through, up dog. Head comes up last. Exhale, down dog. Head goes down last. So this is that undulatory movement that I was talking about in my intro. Tuck the chin, roll through, and exhale. Child's pose. So this version I'm doing is with my knees and thighs all the way together. And now I'm coming into the forward fold. I'm letting my arms hang, I'm letting my head hang. And now I'm showing that I don't want you to hyperextend nor bend the knee. The thigh has to work to support the knee. You have to engage the muscles of the thigh. I'm going to do a whole video just on this. So bear with me. You only work with your feet together here if you're fairly advanced. If your knees aren't all the way straight, then work with your feet hip width apart. If you have to bend your knees slightly, it's okay. And then exhale, we're going to pull down, bringing down the heavens. Hands to the low belly, relax. Collect the chi into the low dantian. So as a modification, and this is also very fun, I'm going to show you the upward to downward facing dog on a chair. And this is one of my very favorites to do, especially if you're slightly on the stiffer side. It's really fun. And even if you're not stiff, you can do this as a warm-up. So we're on the chair. This is chair dog or half dog. And then you can roll through to upward dog. And it's really super easy, or easier than doing it on the ground. It actually takes less strength. So I probably should have done this first, but this is just how it worked. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling. Now I'm going to step to the gecko, back to the dog. And using the chair, this is also very easy, much easier than if you're not hanging on to something. Step back. And I'm just alternating feet. And stepping back. Now we're going to come into some straight leg standing poses that are great for water element. These are opening the bladder meridian, which is the back of the leg. It runs all the way up the back. So it's a straight leg forward bend. This is known as Parshvakonasana in Sanskrit. And now we're going to take the revolved triangle. Parivrta Trikonasana. And I'm going to show you on the chair as a modification. If you're stiff and you can't work on the ground, which everyone has to start somewhere, and very few people can start working all the way on the ground, the chair comes in super handy. And I'm just going to sit on my heels to stabilize after that drama. And we'll do the other side. Half dog and up dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, roll through, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Now when you tuck the chin, the upper back is going to round, just like a humpback whale. It's got to round. And then your head goes down last. Tuck the chin. Flow through. Up dog. Inhale. Exhale. Lift the hips. Down dog. And now we're going to step to that lizard. Dog pose. Step to the gecko. And into down dog. And into the gecko. And into the down dog. Now I'm going to step my foot forward. I'm going to do the other side. Parshvakonasana. Now the full pose has the chin to the knee, and I'm actually not even showing the arms for the pose. The arms for this pose are behind the back in Namaste, but we're just going to save that for another day. We're just getting our legs happening here. And now I'm going to take it up to the revolved triangle. Parivrta Trikonasana. And then here we are on the chair. Using the chair. Stepping back, I'm going to take child's pose. Inhaling, bringing down the heavens. Exhale. See if you can feel the chi when you do this. See how my hands kind of make that little pause? I'm actually feeling the resistance of the chi. And then collecting it into the low dantian, below the navel. Okay, one more variation. Now, I don't have blocks. I'm kind of on the road here. The best I could do are these blue plastic cups. Now, if you're at home and you're practicing and you're stiff, I highly recommend you get yourself a set of yoga blocks. They make these really nice purple fluffy ones these days. I'm sure you've seen them if you've been to a yoga class. And those can help a lot with these straight-legged poses. I'm just taking a little vinyasa. I'm going to step or I'm going to jump forward. Forward bend. Inhaling, coming up. Exhale. Stepping my feet wide. I'm just going to spin at the waist. Now I have to turn my front foot so it's straight forward. My back foot is angled in slightly. It's angled in approximately 45 degrees from the midline. And then here I am using the cup, pretending that it's a brick, to do my revolved triangle and to do my straight leg forward bend, Parshvakonasana. Coming up. And I'm just going to spin, get my feet organized, and then the forward fold. You can either just extend the spine or you can let your head go. What's important is you keep both legs straight here and the thigh muscles firm to the bone. Don't let your thighs go slack here. You have to draw up on the quadricep muscles, and that will support the knee. And as I said, there's going to be a whole video on just that because it's very important and it's a little bit precision. Okay, I've jumped into the frog, which is one of my favorite stabilizing postures. Inhaling, exhale. Inhale, exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Hands to the low belly. Inhale, forward fold. Now I'm going to step or jump back to downward facing dog. I jumped. You can step if you wish. I did a chaturanga upward dog, downward dog. And then I jumped into the frog. And just letting myself stabilize. Now here we go with our seated postures. So starting from the frog, I'm going to take one leg out. So now I'm showing two variations. If you can do lotus, you can put that top leg into lotus, known as Padmasana. Otherwise, the leg goes into Baddha Konasana. That means the foot is just there at the thigh. And we're going to take a twist as I'm showing. The other hand wraps around and you look over your back shoulder. I'm going to place my hands, I'm stepping back, downward dog. And I'm going to roll through upward dog and roll back through downward dog. Now you can do whatever spacer you want. That's called a vinyasa. It's just a spacer. So yours could just be cat. It all depends on your body. So the other side, either the leg goes in Padmasana, and please do not rush this. Do not rush Padmasana. I'm showing this because some people watching this video are going to be experienced practitioners. Others are going to be beginners. So you just have to be honest with yourself and where you are. This is not about forcing your body to do anything. This is about finding the natural openings through finding your natural flow. Okay, I'm going to show the vinyasa from the side. From dog pose, you could do a plank. That's a chaturanga, it's a push-up. Upward dog, downward dog, that's one option. Or you might just want to do upward dog, inhaling. Or even harder, there's dolphin, where you kind of scoop down. As you can see, I can't even do it very well, but I like to practice it. Or you can do cat. Like I said, the point is to do something that feels good to you and keep it moving. Nobody cares if you can do dolphin or what have you. It's all about you. Okay, this is your self-care. So do something that makes yourself feel good, not something that is going to hurt you. Okay, Janu Shirshasana. I like to start dynamic. One leg is in Baddha Konasana, the other leg is outstretched. And I'm going to open 3 times and come over that leg. On the 3rd time, I'm going to stay in the forward bend. Now, if you can't go all the way down, then don't. You go down as far as your body will allow. And then we're going to lift off. And I'm going to show it from the side. Lift off. And then changing sides. Inhale. And then exhale. Inhaling, open, exhale. One more. The 3rd one we stay. So I should have shown a better modification for this one. If you cannot go all the way down, you just grab anywhere on your leg that you can and just open into the back of that outstretched leg. Here I'm rolling over my toes. I'm going to do my toe stretch as a spacer. And I'm just showing you from the side. I'm going to do chaturanga, upward dog, and downward facing dog. And here I'm rolling through. Like I said, you don't have to do all these. You could do any one as a spacer. Or you could just do child's pose. Whatever your body needs. I'm sitting on my heels. I'm going to roll over my feet. And I'm going to do the Marichyasana sequence. These are twists. These are very good for the female reproductive system. They're very tonifying for the whole uterus, ovaries, as well as the kidney and bladder. And so I'm showing the various degrees that one could go into this pose. Here I have it tied off. Don't expect yourself to be able to tie it off right away. Here's one variation, and here's another. You want to lift up your spine. Your extended leg is extended. And here I'm lifting off. If the lift off is difficult for you, then skip it. And now I'm going to do the second Marichyasana variation, number 1. We started with number 2. This is number 1, which is the forward bend. I'm going to take my elbow onto the inside of my shin, so my knee's coming right into my armpit. And I'm going to forward bend over that leg. And if you don't get very far, don't worry. It takes some time. And the other side. First the twist. So with the twist, I raise up the opposite arm of the knee that I have bent. And here I'm going into the full tied off variation. Some people are born able to do this, by the way. Others of us takes 10, 20, 30 years of asana practice to be able to tie it off. So you cannot compare yourself with others because you don't have their body or their history. Lifting off. And now Marichyasana 1. Now this one is same arm as leg. Internally rotate the arm wrap. If you can grab your wrist, fine. If not, you can use a strap. And I'm going to get out a strap a little bit later. I hadn't gone in and gotten it yet here. And lifting off. And step back to dog pose. Upward dog. And I'm just going to take a little hop into frog. Mandukasana. Stabilizing. And I'm going to do the full cycle now. So coming forward. And again, if this is difficult, you just go forward as far as you can. And as I said, you may be sitting on top of your heels, not in front of your heels. That's fine. You may need to sit on a cushion or a pillow. Your feet may be your obstacle to this position. It could be anything. Okay, I'm saying attention here. So we're going to go back, but this is you have to be very careful. So the first one was just going back on your hands. The second one would be back on your elbows, and only if you're 100% comfortable on your elbows can you lie down. So this is serious. You have got to just go slow and listen to what your body is ready to do. You will know if you are not ready to lie down. It takes quite a bit of flexibility. So please don't force it. Please refer to my disclaimer at the front of this video. Here we go, Baddha Konasana. This is another great women's pose, especially good for menses, pregnancy. If you have this opening, it very much helps with giving birth. In fact, many women who are pregnant start yoga specifically because it helps so much with the birthing process. They take prenatal yoga classes, and they do a lot of this pose. And then we're going to go back. Now this one is a little bit easier to go back. It's the manduka that you have to be careful with. And you can rest here for as long as you like. Feel free to pause the video whenever you need. Now I'm going to take a twist. So my right leg has come onto my left knee. I'm twisting over. Back to the center. And the other side. You can take Shavasana here if you like. But we're not quite finished because I had to go into the house and get my handy dandy strap. It's not really a yoga strap, but this is the best that I could do. So this is another primo water element bladder meridian. Really gets the bladder meridian at the back of the leg. And this is how you prep your forward bends in this lying down position. So I'm showing some modifications. If you're stiff, if your leg isn't straight, you can bend your down leg. Back of the knee should be open. So it's all depending on your flexibility. And then you can take a straight leg twist from there. Again, the bent-legged twist that I showed in the last posture is easier than this one. But this one is deeper. And so here we go. I'm showing it with a strap. If you're stiff, you bend the other leg. If you're flexible, you can straighten the leg and you can dispense with a strap. It's just wherever you are. And take it over. You can take it over either with a strap or without. And here I'm going to take Shavasana. And I could lie here anywhere from 1 to even 10 minutes if I wanted. And so here we go with the cool down. Now I'm going to swing and tap, just lightly, very lightly and gently. This is just to reorganize, redistribute the chi. We've stirred up a lot with this practice. And now we're going to do the reverse microcosmic orbit. So I'm lifting up the front and down the back this time. This is the opposite direction than we went at the beginning of practice. So this is the cool down or the yin direction of the microcosmic orbit. And I like to do this at the end of the day when I'm de-stressing or at the end of a practice. It just balances everything out. Up the front, down the back. It's almost like, and then you're sitting in a chair. As your hands press down, you sit. And now I'm just going to, this is like you're a funnel. Your arms are making a funnel. And you're gathering heaven chi from the sky. With the intention you're gathering and it's coming into your body. So Qigong is always best to do outside. I know sometimes we have to do it inside, especially if we're in a cold place. But when possible, do it outside. And now I'm stroking down the central channel. This is just smoothing out the chi. And this will calm you down. I do this one before bed. It brings energy out of your head, down into the dantian. So if you can't sleep, get up and do this. Do it for 5 minutes. You'll go to sleep. And we're going to hold the chi, closing the eyes, feeling it circulate, feeling your chi field in and around your body. Bringing down the heavens. I'm going to rub my palms together, get my palms nice and warm, and then smooth the chi over my face and onto my kidneys. And I'm just rubbing, I actually like to use my fists, and or the back of my hand, and I'm just going to rub my kidneys, make them nice and warm, And now I'm patting down up the inside of the thigh, down the inner side of the arm, up the back, and patting down. This opens all the meridians, getting all the meridians flowing up the inside of the leg, down the inner arm, up the back, down the inner arm, up the back, and again. I'm going to smooth it around the belt channel, called the daimai. And holding the chi in the low dantian. I'm making the golden light mudra. There's that little space, little egg shape. My right palm is wrapping my left. My left palm is wrapping my right. And in that little window, my attention is there. Namaste. Thank you for practicing.